Make a hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
on Pulse 95.
All of us miss Ryan Gosling. All of us miss Chris Evans. I mean, the last time we saw Ryan was it La La Land?
I think so.
Has there been a movie since then? I don't recall anything.
Blade Runner 2049.
But isn't that before La La Land?
I'm actually not sure.
See, it's been a while, hasn't it? And
I love Ryan Gosling, really.
And I don't think we've ever seen him with Chris Evans in any sort of movie or TV show or anything, have we before?
Not that I can think of.
Well, we are going to be seeing them joining together in a Russo's brother movie, and it's about CIA agents.
Ooh, I like it. It's actually based on a book series called The Gray Man, and it's about this guy named Court Gentry, aka The Gray Man, who is an assassin, former CIA operative, and a legend in the covert realm. So it's Netflix's take or investment on James Bond-esque kind of franchise, right?
I'm down for that because I love James Bond. Like, it's a classic and whatnot, and I know you're a massive, massive fan, but that doesn't mean that there is no space for more spy movies. I'm always down for all these movies, more action series, because let's be honest, I say this all the time, but we are done with Mission Impossible. It's like it ran its course, so there's
a sequel happening.
Yes, we know. We're pretending it doesn't exist. But all these like well-known action series, they run their courses. Khalas, let's start something new.
A new IP.
New IP. So why not something like that? Something refreshing, something new with new faces. I know Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans are not new faces.
Yeah.
But they are new-ish to, this duo is new-ish, and we haven't seen them that often. I mean, beyond Chris Evans in The Avengers as Captain America, we haven't seen him in other action movies, have we?
Yeah, and one thing that I really find interesting about this is that a whole lot of money is being put into this. $200 million. That's blockbuster budget right there. So Netflix is very keen in starting new blockbuster franchises such as this one on their platform. And I think this comes from the fact that, we're not really out watching movies in theaters now. A lot of us are spending a lot of time on streaming. And during our quarantine, it's almost like we've been conditioned to just sit at home and watch streaming platforms.
Yes.
So Netflix's idea is let's bring those blockbuster franchises to your television. You don't have to go to your theaters anymore.
I'm down for that.
And they got the big bucks to do it. So
they do. I mean, they're investing all this money, so why not? I mean, they are probably riding high off of the old guard's success because apparently it's been doing really well. And I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, the one we reviewed a couple weeks ago, the one with Chris Hemsworth in it.
The Extraction.
The Extraction.
Which actually garnered 99 million views on Netflix.
Exactly. So they're probably going like, maybe they do have a chance in the action genre. Text us 4215 Itisalat, or do tell us, guys, are you excited about another action movie coming from Netflix? With
Ryan Gosling
and
a spy movie. I'm sold, baby.
Why not? Why not? We're going to be taking a break and we'll be back with more movie talk. So stay tuned.
This is Pulse 95.
Modern entertainment has done a great focus in trying to represent various ethnic groups, people, and just become more diverse in terms of the cast roles.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, this next story is something that I've never really thought is possible, but at the same time, I can see where it could go. And it's a comedy series that it will focus on a deaf character.
Yes, if you guys have watched America's Next Top Model in the past couple of years, you probably have heard of Niall DeMarco, who was he swept the internet, he was everywhere. He is a fantastic person and is a massive, massive advocate for people who are hard of hearing and also the deaf community, and he himself is a deaf person. So seeing him at the forefront and as the main character of this sort of TV show, this is just fantastic because not only will it introduce or put this group of people on a platform, but also educate us who are completely able and alhamdulillah have our hearing. We don't understand that community. can understand their hardships and even their way of thinking. They have completely different mannerisms, etc. I've seen a lot of discourse on it where people who are hard of hearing and deaf would talk about it, and they would a lot of times tell people that you guys don't understand our point of view. The way we look at life is very different than you do.
Yeah.
So this is very interesting to see. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about serious subjects, but I think that having it as a comedy makes it more accessible for other people.
And I think sometimes comedy is almost like an imitation of life, you know?
Yeah.
But just in a more exaggerated way, in a way that we could cope with it, you know?
True.
So it's actually the potential of the series could center on the experience of this deaf man in modern times, with episodes offering funny, character-based storytelling designed to provide a deeper perspective on the experiences of the deaf and hard of hearing communities in America.
Now, we don't know anything about the TV show or when is it coming out. Spectrum, the group of people who are producing it, declined to comment themselves. So again, we don't know anything about it except that Niall DeMarco is going to be starring in it, and it's obviously going to center or talk about the hard of hearing and deaf community, and I'm all for it. I'm all for diversity, of course, and this is just something new, and why not? We're tired of the repetitive themes, repetitive stories. It is time for all these marginal communities across the world, not only in America and the West, but across the world, to finally have a voice and platform.
Taking representation to a new level.
Yes, very much. Coming up next is a rumor, a Marvel rumor. I miss all these Marvel rumors, so I'm very excited to talk about this one with Mikhail right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Speculation, gossip, or hoax. Rumor has it.
The last time we saw Jamie Foxx in the MCU or in the Marvel universe, not particularly the MCU, was back in The Amazing Spider-Man in the second one when he played the villain. Electro. He was pretty cool. I really liked him because he played with your heartstrings, where at the beginning you just feel very bad for him, and you continue feeling very bad for him throughout the entire ordeal.
Just someone bullied into becoming a villain.
Exactly. He did it really well. Jamie Foxx knows how to act. You cannot deny that.
Yeah.
So now there are rumors that maybe he's also being eyed for an MCU role within the X-Men universe, and that is the role of Bishop.
Now, do we know Bishop?
Yes, because he was in X-Men and X-Men movie Days of
like
Future
100
Past.
X-Men characters.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I don't blame you.
Storm, Dr. Xavier. That's all I know. Sorry, guys. I don't catch up with these things.
Do we still have the where it's cricket noise?
I think so. Oh yeah, there it is.
It's okay.
Gotta study up on my X-Men lore.
I mean, if you're not a massive Marvel fan, you obviously will only know like you said, the main characters, or at least the ones that have been portrayed more than once, such as, Professor Xavier and, Wolverine.
Cyborg,
Storm. Storm is my favorite.
Mystique.
All of that aside, what do we think about that? Would that work for him? I think it would, because I looked up pictures of Bishop and I was like, that looks exactly like Jamie Foxx.
Actually, let me just open that up on Google right now. X-Men, Bishop.
Look at us, Afternoon Karak. We do our research right on it.
you got to do that, sometimes. Bishop. Oh, I misspelled it. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I see it.
He is literally Jamie Foxx.
I can see he probably because he doesn't have a lot of hair, right?
He can just wear, fake dreadlocks. That's fine.
Well, if this ever happens, it would feel like the same case with how Chris Evans, he was the Torch from the Fantastic Four. Human Torch from the old Fox.
Fantastic Four, yeah.
And then how he's part of another Marvel-based character.
Mm-hmm.
So if that ever happens, I feel like it will be the same case. And,
could be, because we don't know whether we're going to be getting anything like X-Men standalone movie or series within the MCU, because the previous ones have all been from a separate universe. So again, that's all rumors, all up in the air. It all has to do with the upcoming phases. That is Phase 5 and probably even Phase 6. We just need to wait and see.
Last week, I was talking about how John Krasinski could be playing the role of Richard Reed for Mr. Fantastic. So, it's interesting interesting that these two rumors are slowly, like these are some of the few rumors that are coming out now that are speculating specifically on the X-Men characters and the Fantastic Four, because those are obviously two of the biggest teams that are going to play a huge role in the future MCU.
Yeah.
So again, these are still rumors. We'll have to wait and see if we get any updates.
They're definitely teams that really need a reboot as soon as possible, and a good one, because they've had too many of them. And you can argue
Dark Phoenix.
a lot of people might like Days of Future Past and all that entire series, but to me, it's like you could have done better.
Days of Future Past. It's in the past.
It is in the past. We're going to be taking a break. I've got these sports headlines coming up, and then we'll be back with more news right here on the Afternoon Karak. So stay tuned on 95.0 FM or on YouTube or anywhere you're listening to us. Do not turn it off.
Pulse 95.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Karak. Now in this segment, I'm going to be honest, I will not understand anything you're going to be talking about because it's all about Xbox, and I'm going to say it. I am going to be bold today. It's all about being bold. I am a massive, massive Xbox hater.
Whoa.
And I cannot...
I'll be honest.
It's the truth.
At some point in my life, I did not like Xbox, but for some reason, as I started to understand this industry, it's just I'm not really loyal to any brand. It's more like I become.
Oh, you're not a Sony pony? Is that what you're saying?
I am loyal to Sony pony, but to an extent. Let's say if something, if they do something shady, I will call them out on it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be blind to some. See,
that's what loyalty is all about. You can't be blindly loyal to a specific brand. And this goes to any sort of brand, console, even makeup, whatever it is in the entire world, even when it comes to your favorite actors, actresses, singers, whoever you love.
Yeah.
You cannot be just outright blindly in love with that thing or person, because they will make mistakes, and at some point you'll either be put in a situation where people are gonna come up and say this is wrong, and it's gonna be just look stupid when you're trying to make it look like it's a good thing. It's
you're
fine.
Blindly defending that brand. They're like, they did nothing wrong, and then you're just gonna be the complete idiot when things get exposed and whatnot.
So I respect Xbox.
Yeah.
But I hate them.
I understand. It's
not a fan.
They haven't.
I'm sorry.
They haven't been really able to market themselves as well as other gaming brands like Nintendo and PlayStation.
Yeah.
But they are. I'm paying very well attention to their next goal here and the next generation of gaming with their Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. And now there is a real emphasis on their subscription service. And people just recently noticed that the Xbox Live Gold subscription has been fading out of the storefronts, and there's only now a focus on the Xbox Game Pass. And recently, actually, right after that, Microsoft added a new perk to something they call now the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is a subscription that bundles the Xbox Live Gold as well as the Xbox Game Pass, and that will be available for the console and the PCs. And starting in September, they're going to have their Project X cloud gaming service added to it as well, all for the price of $15 a month.
That is incredibly cheap. That is also very, very smart of them.
Yeah.
Now, I know you described several services and then they combine them into one. Can you tell us the difference between them? Because to me, they all sound like game passes or seasonal passes to me.
Ideally, in the beginning, it all started off with Xbox Live Gold, which is the ability to play multiplayer, and they would give you like 2 games a month for free with, cloud saving. But that's becoming a bit, outdated.
Yeah.
And they then announced something called the Game Pass, which is basically you get an access of 100 games and you can download and stream it anytime for that, as long as you're subscribed to that service, which has been very great, like a great business model, because what they've also done is they've included all of their exclusives. Their first party are in there as well. Like, you don't have to buy the first party games. Just subscribe to the $15 a month service for Game Pass and enjoy and play. And I think that's a really great, I think Sony should do something like this. But now, to add more to it, they're going to have the xCloud project, cloud gaming service,
Yeah.
which will allow you to play on your tablets, on your phones, on your laptop. And this is like something Google Stadia is trying to.
That's exactly the
Been
thing
trying to
that,
do for a
that
while
came
now.
to my mind when they
Exactly.
said that. I think Microsoft is more than capable of
They're
pulling
going to
it off.
destroy Google
They are.
Stadia with this. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure. And I mean, if I made a whole gaming console right now with my zero ability or understanding of programming, it will probably also trump Google Stadia. That's just the truth. But yeah, I'm congrats to all Xbox users. I mean, this sounds great for them, honestly. If you're a massive Microsoft fan, I mean, here's some good news for you.
But here's this, this gives a really clear perspective into the selling point of Microsoft and PlayStation. PlayStation's all about exclusive games and, being on their platform, where at Microsoft is all about accessibility, playing your games anywhere on any device or platform, whichever you like, through the Gamebox Ultimate subscription service.
That's just super smart of them. I mean, I gotta give it to them. Regardless of my hate towards them, they are doing great. I'm looking forward to seeing what else they can come up with in the upcoming generation. Coming up next is a not in the news story about KFC. I'm very excited to talk about this one.
Oh, dear.
Let's leave it for later after this short break.
Pulse 95.
Now, I like me some chicken nuggets.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, it's
Who
one of.
doesn't? Even the vegans love their some sort of nugget. It's just so accessible. Just a small morsel of food is just perfect. Whoever
one is
created
never
it.
enough.
No, never.
5 is never enough.
I have a confession, okay?
Okay.
So usually, not a confession, just like a small thing that I do. When I usually order from McDonald's, I don't get 9 pieces of chicken nuggets. I don't get 6. I get 15 pieces, which is I get 6 pieces
Smart.
and 9 pieces.
Because 6 massachusetts.
Yes, and sometimes you're like really hungry. So you order 9, but then you're like, maybe I want a couple more. So 15 is the perfect number. Funny enough, I always get full by the 12th one. So any McDonald's executives listening to us right now, maybe make it 12 pieces. I think that's a good number to stop
Take notes.
at. Take notes, McDonald's. We're not talking about McDonald's today. We're talking about KFC and the fact that they're working with a Russian 3D bioprinting firm to try to make lab-produced chicken nuggets. Yes or no?
I have a few red flags, okay? Because
How tiny? Are they tiny flags or are they big flags?
just, lab produced means artificial, preservatives, some weird experiments that are going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much of that is really chicken, And if it's good for consumption. That's my biggest issue with this.
I have seen several science videos, so obviously this makes me a massive expert in bioengineering, etc., and all of that.
I trust you.
And creating chicken in laboratories. And I vaguely recall that they use actual animal cells. So they're not like creating animal cells.
Yeah.
They use actual ones. And they try to combine it, etc., like with magic and whatnot and all that thing, and then it becomes chicken nuggets eventually. Now, I am down for it for the fact that it's going to be much more ethically sourced than having a bunch of chicken scooped up in a very unsanitary and a very, gruesome way that usually a lot of chicken farms are.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go for chicken that are free range and then use them to mass produce chicken nuggets for every single KFC branch in the entire world. So this might be ethically better, but also it goes into the whole, issue of, are we just playing around and creating things in a lab? So it's like you said, there are some red flags, but also there are some good things as well out of this.
As long as this gets approved by the health regulations and that it's actually proven that this is good for consumption and that 3D bioprinting could actually resolve a lot of the issues in terms of animal abuse, in terms of the diseases, and
I agree.
and just sometimes the struggle on how do we accommodate to the demand, but also try to protect the supply.
That is true. Now, according to a small poll I posted on my own Instagram, 78% of my followers said that they are going to eat it, And honestly, I'm with those followers. I would try it.
I mean,
I don't mind.
when you see it's when you say 3D bioprinting chicken, you get a few mixed reactions. But
Yeah.
when you say 3D bioprinting chicken nugget,
Yes.
you got me on that. Just give me the barbecue dip. We're good. We're good to go.
Oh, for me, it's sweet and sour, please. I'm sweet and sour right here. Text us 4215 with the salat or do or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, all over the place. And tell us, will you guys try out these bioprinted chicken nuggets? We're going to be taking a break and we're going to go back to the world of gaming. So stay tuned.
This is Pulse 95.
July has been a good gaming month. We've got Ghost of Tsushima and
Super Mario Paper? Paper Super Mario.
Paper Super Mario. Origami that came out, well, kind of like a couple of days, it was like how many days?
Let's say a week's time.
Within the same week. How about that? And as well, one of my most anticipated games of the year, which was Story of Seasons. And guys, I am going to review it later on this week, but that's not the important.
I got a little brief conversation with Aisha.
Yes,
She's got a lot to talk about.
I've got a lot to talk about. I mean, I've been waiting for it for a long time. This game has been the game that I grew up playing. So I'm excited to talk about that. But for now, let's go back to Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima.
Both are fine, actually.
Both are fine. And Super Paper. Oh my God.
Super Mario Paper.
Paper Super Mario.
Okay.
Paper Super. I have to distinguish between the normal Super Mario and the Paper Super Mario.
It's okay.
I cannot distinguish between games today, guys. I'm really sorry. It's nearly 5 p.m., but that's okay. Anyway, so our story is about how people were flocking towards talking about it on critic websites and to rate them. But then Metacritic.
It's okay.
Never. You know what?
It's a Sunday.
Just take over. Just take over.
Okay, so I noticed yesterday, I was talking with my friend, and we always look at Metacritic to look at both the critic review, the professional reviews, as well as the user review score. But the user review score wasn't up yet. And it's weird, like, it's supposed to be up the second the game launches.
Yes.
And it's like, this is a first I've never seen before. But apparently Metacritic has went out and said that they have placed a waiting period of 36 hours until the user score is able to be up and people can actually put their reviews. And this actually happened because of Last of Us Part 2.
Really?
When that game came out, there was so much built-up outrage because of the leaks.
Yes.
So when the game was the Metacritic score came out, people review bombed it like crazy. Like to this day, so the critics review was like 95 out of 100, but then when the user score came online, it was like 3.2. 3.2,
That's
which
really bad.
It's bad because it really does not give room for legitimate reviews.
True.
Like people who really want to talk about the good and bad and the real complaints that developers can sit down and read is not there because there's just so much negativity and toxicity just being put on the platform because of the general hate, even when you've not played the game.
Yeah.
So
because trolls are usually, they have the entire time to just sit down and just review bomb whatever game they don't like.
Exactly. And it's great that they actually put this 36-hour period because their intention is that we don't want people to just flock in immediately and put out reviews. Take the time to actually have played the game and then come in and actually put your scores. And this time, Ghost of Tsushima's user score is really good. It's 9.2. 9.2 out of 10.
Which is funny, actually, because when the first reviews came out, the critic reviews from a couple of days ago before the game was announced, some people were saying that this is just very boring. You don't do much. You just go around and you pet some foxes. Apparently, that's exactly what people wanted because that's the reason why it has a high score. And you also enjoyed that part, didn't you?
I gotta say, this whole weekend I've been playing this game and I cannot wait to review it. I got some really good things to talk about.
I'm actually gonna drive when I'm gonna drive back home. I'm gonna go to the shop right after the show and get a physical copy of the game.
You will not regret it.
I
That's
know
all
it
I'm
has
saying.
foxes. It has foxes. I am down for that. And finally, we're nearly at the end of the hour, so stay tuned for Aisha and Mikhail suggest. We've got a good suggestion from Mikhail.
It's almost 5 p.m.
That was Afternoon Karak.
For dessert,
Aisha and Mikhail suggest...
I just had a hilarious moment in the break where I was like, wait a second, where is the bed? I can't believe those 3 weeks made me forget the locations of some things.
It happens.
But to be honest, you did mess around with the board a little bit.
I tried to,
you removed something I
color-code
like.
it,
You removed something I like.
organized it. Which one was it?
The House Moving Castle one.
It's still in the playlist. I'll put
It's
it back.
somewhere. Please put it back.
Haga.
Please. It's my. It's also your favorite as well.
You're right. It's just we don't have any Miyazaki stories. So-
You know what? We're gonna make Hayao Miyazaki stories and Studio Ghibli stories and talk about them.
All right.
But for now, we're gonna be talking about your suggestion for the day.
So this one's really funny. This happened just last night. I was out jogging with my buddy. Shout out to Issam. And we just we're sort of like doing a 6-kilometer jog.
Ooh, 6 kilometer, mashallah.
And halfway through it,
Hold on, you deserve a clap woohoo for that.
it's my body's a little sore, but halfway through that trip, his parents call him up and say, "Listen, we don't have the keys to the house. Can you drive back to us, and give us the key?" Thing is, he's all the way in Ajman.
Oh.
So we can't just walk back. So they kind of had to wait until we finished, and finally we were able to drop the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me the funniest thing is that this has happened more than once.
Oh.
So I'm like, here's a solution. Here's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Why not put make a copy of a key to your house and put it in the glove compartment in your car in case you lose your original key wherever, if it's in your pocket or in your wallet.
Yeah.
At least you have a spare in your glove compartment.
That's
and
incredibly smart.
That's a simple suggestion, which I know will save a lot of people a whole lot of headache. It's also my good friend Wissam.
I agree with you totally. That is incredibly smart. I never thought of it. And I actually thought of what about car keys? And I'm like, if you put a car keys, the car will turn on itself.
That would be a burglar's dream, by the way. Just smash the window, pry out the glove compartment. He got a free car. I'm just saying.
He got a free car. And sometimes some cars, the moment you put a car key in it, it's going to unlock regardless of whether you have another key outside. So that's a bad idea. But listen to Mikhail and put your house key,
a copy
of your house key in the glove compartment. End of the day. And
Aisha, thanks for coming back. It's great. For me, it's a blessing. So happy you're back to
I'm glad
complete
to
the
be
Dream
back.
Team, the Afternoon Karak.
Yes.
And we're back better than ever here on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. You're listening to Pulse 95. Pulse 95.
It's Pulse 95.